Welcome back. The Department of Sports, Arts and Culture seeks to uplift silenced authors by providing a unique opportunity for those, to tell the South African stories in our official languages. Now, this is an invitation to authors, both established and emerging, to submit their work and get funding. It could be novels, it could be poetry, short stories, or even children's books. This initiative is a crucial step in widening the pool of voices that shape South African literature. To share more on this project, we're now joined virtually by Professor Sihawukele Ngubane, the chairperson of ANFASA and the head of performing arts at the University of Kwa-Zulu Natal. A very good morning to you, Prof. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to Morning Live.
Good morning, Simpiwe and your viewers.
Now, Prof, let's talk about the initiative and who exactly are you calling to submit their work?
This is a call to all potential authors who have not been given an opportunity to have their works published. So, as you have indicated, that it's emerged and people who have been in the field of literature writing for many years. But what we are targeting people who already have their manuscript, so that they can meet the deadline, which is on Friday, on the 8th of September. The challenge that our authors experience is that they have their works, but they don't find a publisher. So this initiative is going to empower those authors and also empower the publishers who will be given an opportunity to work with authors to publish the books. We are hoping that we'll publish about 22 books by January next year. So it's a very, very rare opportunity for people whose voices were silenced to express themselves relating to the themes that affect the social justice or any other topic in the country that affects the people and citizens of South Africa, more especially those who speak indigenous languages.
So what precisely should the manuscript have, in order to be considered for the funding?
We have set a limit of a minimum of 80,000 words for a novel and a drama and poetry. But for some genres like children's books, we can't set that 80,000 words minimum. But you can write more than 80,000 for novels and other genres. But for literature, children's literature, the gist of the books are illustrations and also some paragraphs. So that criteria does not apply to children's books.
Is there a specific language that the manuscripts need to be in?
All official languages, including Khoisan language, except for all languages, including sign language, because now we have 12 official languages. We are going to have a braille for those who are physically impaired, so that they can have access to these books. So it's going to be across the board.
So, Prof, how many of the manuscripts will receive the funding, and what will this fund cover?
This fund will cover. Let me explain simply. We have made a call for people to submit. So we are going to consider all the manuscripts that we receive. And then we have appointed the panelists who will sit down and select the best. So there is no limit to the submission. As long as people will be able to meet the deadline, which is on Friday, then we'll start the process of selecting, and then we will choose the best manuscript for publication. And in terms of numbers, there's no limit.
When you say the panel will select the best manuscript, best in terms of what? What is it that you're looking out for? What's the thought process?
In fact, we have highlighted the criteria for the books, but the content is bottomless. So that's why we allow people to write about anything, but we'll be looking into how that manuscript is written, because there are criteria before a book can be published. That is why what we'll have, we will give money to the authors to shape their manuscript, and also allow the publishers to work with the authors, and the publishers will also receive an incentive from the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture. So that is how it's going to work.
And just how important is it to widen the pool in the literature space?
It is important, but because the books that are written in indigenous languages were marginalized, as you know, and the market for those books were only educational books. Now that we allow people to write their manuscript, is because we want to enhance readership in South Africa, because after a research that was conducted, it was felt that the culture of reading in South Africa is very low, and this availability of textbooks written in their own languages will develop the languages themselves and also enhance the reading culture. So that is why it is very important that now we are embarking on this journey of promoting languages that were marginalized before.
And Professor, we've seen an increase in child authors and those of school-going age, and I must say that they are so incredible and amazing authors out there. So will they be treated the same as all the other authors, or the authors of school-going age will have, a certain criteria of selection?
We don't look age and gender, but we are looking at the merit of the work that is submitted.
Okay, so just take us through the process of submission. How do they go about doing that?
We have two websites where the manuscript should be sent. The first one is www.dsac.gov.za. That is the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture website. And the Academic and Non-Fiction Authors Association website is www.anfasa.org.za, and the process will be available from the website, and they will be assisted on how to proceed in submitting and uploading the manuscript. It's a simple process, but we also have a telephone info, an email info@anfasa.org.za. If you have a problem, you can email that email, and then you'll get help.
All right, and when is the closing date again?
On Friday, 8th of September.
Okay. All right, Professor, great chatting to you. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for inviting us, and we encourage people to submit their manuscript before it's too late.
Indeed, indeed. Thank you. Thank you so much for that, Prof. Now, the Department of Sport, Arts and Culture is actively seeking authors, as you've heard, who write in any South African official languages to submit their manuscripts for consideration. We just spoke to Professor Sihawukele Ngubane, the chairperson of ANFASA and the head of performing arts at the University of Kwa-Zulu Natal.